the Abyss full lore and explanations. To understand fully what is going on with the Abyss story, first we need to know about this being. He is called the God of Darkness, or Lord of Darkness, or sometimes Lord of Abyss. Now don't get confused here, because he will be called by different name in different heroes' backstory. Now let's go long way back. There is a unique and supreme god, the same supreme being who gave Lunox her powers. He is the God of Gods. He created the two gods, God of Darkness and God of Light. Due to their nature, they always fought with each other. The God of Darkness is also the one who influenced Alice. The God of Light is the one who cursed Alice to be a blood demon. Anyways, these two gods are responsible for a lot of story in Land of Dawn. So that's his brief information. Then here comes Obsidia's story and Abyss lore. Pre-Obsidia story happens before Lunox sealed God of Darkness powers. Obsidia was an elf. Her race almost faced extinction due to lack of resources and food. Obsidia was among them. When her race faced extinction, the power of the God of Darkness came to her. A voice spoke to her. "Obsidia, I shall grant you the power you desperately seek to build your kingdom." The strange power transformed Obsidia body. Every inch of her flesh transformed as a new world opened before her. The God of Darkness's chisel carved a void in her mind, forcefully filling it with power, wisdom, and vitality, painful, yet intoxicating. Those who oppress her, they were crushed. Obsidia used this power to unify the world underground. To those who submitted, she granted power. For those who rebelled, their bones piled high. She named her kingdom the Abyss, and she became its one true sovereign. But which she was enjoying her newfound kingdom, she had forgotten that above rulers there are gods. And power comes with a price. The God of Darkness has other plans in mind when he gave Obsidia powers. While Obsidia was intoxicating in power and living in a dream, the Abyss kingdom she created became a tool for the God of Darkness. Obsidia's subjects were used by God of Darkness to fight against the God of Light in war, which was known as the First Endless War. Those demons granted power by God of Darkness lost their reason and will, and like entranced puppets, marched to their deaths in an eternal battle. Even Obsidia's own mind was corrupted by the God of Darkness influence, like a thick sludge of chaotic noise seeping in despite her resistance. Obsidia thought coldly. The God of Darkness had finally revealed its fangs. This was no longer her kingdom, but a spawning pool to fuel the god's cosmic game of war. Her subjects were summoned at will and discarded just as easily. She felt no fear, no regret, no remorse, only endless killing intent. But this was her realm, and life and death here was hers to decide. If the God of Darkness would break its promise, then let this place become its grave. Obsidia struck a devastating blow to the God of Darkness during its war against the God of Light, but she was mortally wounded in the process. During the endless war of light and dark, Lunox sealed both the powers of God of Light and God of Darkness in the Twilight Orb, and the Twilight Orb was scattered into fragments in different parts of Land of Dawn. The God of Light and God of Darkness both went into hiding, trying to cultivate more power for their revival. The God of Light stayed in the Light Kingdom, also known as Monian Kingdom, while God of Darkness hid in the Abyss. During the war, Obsidia was mortally wounded, and soon the demons in the Abyss, seizing the opportunity, rose in rebellion for the throne. Despite this betrayal, she smiled, thinking, "This is how Abyss should be. A ruthless land with no rules and order, just pure strength and never-ending conflict." The Abyss became a never-ending conflict zone between blood demons, fire demons, shadowbringers, monsters, demons. She allowed the creatures and monsters of the Abyss to seize her blood, throne, and power. And she went into deep slumber. Obsidia was never expected to be awakened again. While Obsidia was asleep, there was no ruler in Abyss, just different faction existing in constant conflict. Thamuz always wanted to rule the abyss, but the god of darkness brought Alice to serve under him. Thamuz hated Alice, and he thinks Alice was not fit to be a ruler, as she was not a pure-blooded demon. And Thamuz was appointed as chief of the abyss, who led the abyss to conquer all underworld. This was frustrating for Thamuz. With Obsidia gone, the god of darkness appointment, a new vessel to rule the abyss. He is known as the Lord of Abyss. Poor Thamuz, he did not get the throne again. The Lord of Abyss was shit, so the Styx clan started a rebellion, but, of course, the Styx's clan was crushed easily by the Lord of Abyss. They were branded as traitors and was forever made to serve the abyss. Helcurt was the offspring of this clan of traitors. The Styx's clan became the personal dogs for Lord of Abyss. Helcurt became the Lord of Abyss personal servant. When Helcurt was told to slay his own kind, he didn't hesitate. Helcurt's instinct was only to survive. For a long time, the Lord of Abyss ruled the abyss with his corrupted blood. The abyss was further being corrupted. This feels same like Obsidia was corrupted by God of Darkness power. Thamuz left with no choice, led the demons of the abyss, and turned against the Lord of the Abyss. Thamuz with his army led to Lord of Abyss Palace, crushing everyone on their way. Helcurt stood as the last line of defense. Amidst the chaos, Helcurt's instinct was only to survive. Even though he was born a traitor, he had the right to live. At that very moment, Helcurt turned around and came face to face with the Lord of Abyss. With all his might, he slashed the Lord of Abyss, freeing himself from the shackles of the blood curse. He slayed and betrayed the Lord of Abyss just like his ancestors did. He was born a traitor, and he had always been a traitor. But now Helcurt was free. Helcurt now roams the abyss, freely hunting anything and anyone. With now the ruler of Abyss gone, Thamuz thought he could be the ruler. I feel like the god of darkness just hates appointing Thamuz as the ruler of Abyss. Just a reminder, the god of darkness is still weak. He is still trying to restore his power. Instead of him ruling directly, he just appointed puppets to do the work for him. The abyss with the Lord of Abyss gone, the battle for the ruler of the throne continues. But the god of darkness has chosen Selena, a dark elf, to represent his will and voice. Initially, Selena was meant to be a food, a sacrifice for him, but the god of darkness chose her, making Selena to rule over the abyss. Seeing this, even Alice Bloodmagic began to feel unnerved upon seeing this young dark elf girl, not only because the abyss had chosen her, but also because Alice could sense the terrible power lying within this seemingly cute and mischievous youngster. As for Thamuz, he's upset again that Selena, who was not a pure-blooded demon, was chosen. Then many things happened. Alice kidnapped and raised dyrroth. Thamuz trains dyrroth. Dyrroth invade Manian Empire, but ends in failure. Alice recruited Terizla and invaded Necrokeep, but failed. Alice attacks the Crow people. Well, Alice has a lot of adventures. That's for another story. The Abyss is never a peaceful place. Monsters lurking everywhere. Survival is the only concern here. While all these chaos happening, in the deepest part of Abyss, a strange light flickers, awakening a powerful being, Obsidia, who had been sleeping for thousands of years, encounters her past self, who was corrupted by the god of darkness in her dream. The strange flicker of power alerted Alice.
Does the Lord of Lava also crave the Sovereign's blood?
Fool! The tyrant's remains will only bring doom! Their brutal dominion, our warriors were corrupted into foul bonds of decay! Sovereign of the Abyss, Obsidia. The curse still flows within the Sovereign's blood!
Such loyal little puppets, aren't you?
You are merely a puppet, no different from my spawns. Bow to me. Keep your throne, or be destroyed.
The Abyss bows to no one!
For the Abyss!
These wretched spawns reek of its corruption.
Your sovereign has a god to kill.
Obsidia is finally awakened now, but the Abyss Kingdom is no longer hers. There's a new queen. Who would win in a fight between them? Will Alice, the Queen of Blood, intervene? When will Thamuz ever rule the Abyss? When will Argus make a move?